And we are live, guys. Welcome back to the Blamegirl podcast with
Mr. Terry Wayne.
We have Chris Renoir in the house. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much for having me on, you guys.
Thanks for being on, Chris. How was your weekend?
It was good, doing shows, still eating leftovers from Thanksgiving, working. So pretty much your standard weekend down in South Florida.
How many shows did you have this weekend?
Well, I had the Tipsy Flamingo show. I also had a show at produced by Yo Miami. I forgot where the spot was, but it was pretty dope. It was right before Thanksgiving, actually. So that was a fun show.
That Wednesday right before?
Yes, ma'am. I was surprised a lot of people came out to the show. I thought people would be home getting ready to eat, but a lot of people came through, and it was a fun atmosphere, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I was thinking to myself, I was like surprised no one tries to do shows on Thanksgiving Day. Like,
you think people would go?
People eat so early, they be looking for stuff to do at night.
Not me.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. What time did you eat, Terry?
Huh?
What time did you eat?
We ate around 5.
Wow.
What time did you eat?
I ate at 8 p.m.
Oh God.
I was starving.
I ate my second plate at 8 p.m.
I ate my first plate at 8 p.m. and fell right asleep.
Oh man.
That was my Thanksgiving.
Terry, how was your weekend or Thanksgiving weekend?
Well, my holiday was good. I got to make some good food. Everybody seemed to like it. In the weekend we had our Friendsgiving, which was real fun. And then, some other interesting stuff happened. But yeah, that was about it, And then luckily I had off Friday, and it turned out I had off today because my boss didn't want to do it either. So I had like a 5-day weekend. It was awesome.
Do you have a boss?
I have contractors.
Oh.
So yeah, if they ain't doing anything, I'm probably not going to be doing anything either. So.
Well, I'm glad y'all asked. My weekend was pretty good. My Thanksgiving. I cooked Thanksgiving here. It was good. I passed out early, and then what did I do this weekend? Nothing. All I had was the Tipsy Flamingo, really. And
we appreciate you for coming up.
Wait, I skipped over Friendsgiving.
I was gonna say you were there too.
I had Friendsgiving on Saturday. That was a lot of fun, like Terry said. And then Tipsy Flamingo was a lot of fun last night. I had to dip out early because I had such a long drive. How was the rest of the show?
Oh, it was beautiful. It picked up a lot because a lot of more people started coming into the room.
It was already packed when I was there, man.
Yeah. And you can imagine how much more people came. So it's a nice room. It's a nice, small, intimate room. I really enjoy hosting it. And I'm really happy that we were able to get you out.
Thank you.
I know it was a long drive, but we appreciate it for real.
No, I always take them because those Miami comedy rooms are real dope. They always bring a crowd, and they're there to laugh.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, guys, y'all ready to do some blaming?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So first up, folks, we got the mom who blamed her daughter's racism on her daughter's autism. Who's to blame here?
If I could take the first stab at this, I'm gonna say it's the mom's fault.
All right.
It's the mom's fault. I believe so, because you gotta learn it from somewhere.
You think mom's fault? You think she learned it? And guys, let me just give you a little bit of a backstory. There was a teen in Texas, and she is on video basically snatching the phone out of her teacher's hand, and then calling her mom, and she said something along the lines like, my teacher's Black. This is what she said to her mom. And it just comes off as like that is a sticking point for mom. That's what I thought too, Chris. What did you think, Terry? Who's to blame here?
Well, I think kids like this that tend to have a lash out personality. Because I watched that video a few times. I think they're going to hit you wherever they think it hurts the most, you know? So
Wasn't
whether,
saying it to the teacher, Terry. She said it to her
oh, no,
mom.
no, she was saying it to the teacher. She was saying it to her mom on the phone, but she was saying it to the teacher. You know what I mean? That thing where you scream something in front of somebody, but not at them, you know?
But
Yeah.
she clearly learned how to weaponize that woman's race towards her from
Oh,
some
sure. 100%. That's what I mean. The people that have that tendency to lash out, they're going to pick whichever soft target they think is going to hurt you the most. And that's what they're going to direct that focus on. So when I read that she was on the spectrum, I'm like, I get that, because it's almost sociopathic, you know, where they're not even trying to prove something. They're not even trying to fix their own situation. They're just trying to grab you and take you down to where they are.
Yeah. And, you know, mom did say that she was upset for the teacher. She was upset for her being in that situation. And you know who mom blames everyone? The lack of accommodation for her daughter's autism. So,
yeah, I didn't like that part because my nephew has, you know, autism that's pretty bad. And it's prevented him from, you know, having that normal kid experience. And yeah, I've never seen him do anything like that ever in his life. When he gets mad, it's more frustration because he can't do what he wants to do, or because he doesn't understand a situation.
well, he's not sociopathic about it.
No, he doesn't weaponize anything towards anybody.
Yeah. Do you think just this in this situation? Do you think the student really has autism, or is that just what mom's using as an excuse for her daughter?
She didn't seem autistic, but there's like I said, on the spectrum, because there's a lot of different things that are still considered autism. You know, she could have Asperger's pretty easily. If you have severe Asperger's, you will literally say anything at any time, just because you can't control those emotions. So when you get angry, you get murderously angry. You know.
It's either her parents are racist, her mom is racist, or everybody that's a racist is on the spectrum. So
I don't think that's true.
Look, it's Castleberry ISD in Texas. Chris, what you think?
It's got to be the former. I think she's learned it from somewhere, either her mom or some uncle somewhere. You know,
I feel like
she's in Texas, so you don't have to search very far, I think.
What I got from the video was like the way she said it, she thought it would rile her mom up. You know what I'm saying? And it probably did, but then this bitch went viral, and now mom has to be like, oh, my daughter's autistic. So
yeah, I don't I mean, I don't think she's autistic. She might be on the spectrum, but it's nowhere clear. I mean, it's nowhere close to the autism that I'm used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Nobody's born racist. You have to learn that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think she learned, like, I think she went there for a reason, and I don't think it was just because she's a sociopath, you know. Like, I think it's because that's a learned behavior. So I don't really have a good transition for once in history. I don't.
For once?
I don't. Hey, everyone tells me my transitions are awesome. Fuck you, Terry.
Sorry.
So North Korea, they are giving out harsh sentences for viewing the hit Netflix show, The Squid Games. Who's to blame, Chris? I see you shaking your head. You go first.
I feel bad that they can't watch a show that's really like right below them. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be family. You're supposed to enjoy what South Korea can produce, but they're like, no, we can't have you watch this. And it's not even like I don't know. They probably are kind of going against North Korea and stuff like that, but it's just a great show in general. I don't understand why they're so totalitarian. They can't even enjoy great television.
Oh, it's pretty easy to understand why. There is a character in that show that escapes North Korea into South Korea.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's one of the main characters, actually. And and she didn't have any good things to say about North Korea. And I don't know if everybody's aware of this, but they don't really like it when you talk bad about the state there.
Right.
And
But
they don't have access. It's not just the Squid Game. They don't have access to 99% of the world's media.
Oh, it's totally propaganda. But so
Yeah.
tell me this: the Squid Games. Explain it to me. Does it take place in North or South Korea?
South Korea.
So it takes place in South Korea, and it's this game where you're competing for billions of dollars, and it's extended to people in debt. But in the show, someone escaped from North Korea to South Korea to participate in the Squid Games.
No, she had just escaped to get out, and then joined the Squid Game because she was poor. She was like a street thief.
That's intense. That the fact that you'd rather go compete in games like that, and you just escaped. Like, I mean, I guess you could get treated like that anyway. You could die at any moment in North Korea for nothing.
Well, the whole show is an allegory for wealth inequality. You know,
yeah, definitely.
You have this group of wealthy men who, you know, are literally so wealthy that they're bored with everything in the world. So they pay poor people to compete and kill each other and for their entertainment.
The sad thing is people are getting arrested and sentenced to death for the Squid Games. It's a great show, but damn, they can't even watch Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, The Wire.
Yeah, that's the thing. They'll get it. If they caught you watching The Sopranos, you would get a death sentence for that as well.
There was only one man that we know so far that was sentenced to death. There were 7 high school students that received harsh sentences for watching the show. But I'm like, there's only one person they killed.
Well, remember, you don't get the death sentence for watching it. You get a death sentence for smuggling it in. Because the way they see it is you're poisoning the community. You're poisoning the minds of their people.
Yeah. This all started last week when a high school student secretly bought a USB flash drive containing the South Korean drama Squid Game and watched it with one of his best friends in the class. And then it just spiraled out. That's just so sad, just to think that you can't even fucking watch a movie. It's a movie, right? Or is it
No, it's a show.
It's a series. See, that's why I ain't watched it. I can't commit to series like that, you know?
I mean, you're not going to get the death sentence if you watch it, so.
Yeah, do it for free.
You know who else didn't get the death sentence? Kyle Rittenhouse.
Well, he shouldn't have gotten the death sentence. That's crazy.
I'm not suggesting he should have. I just transitioning. Terry, calm down. So the acquitted Kyle Rittenhouse, he was not very grateful for his legal defense, apparently, guys. Who's to blame here?
Honestly, why wouldn't you be grateful to the defense?
I said the acquitted.
Wow.
Terry?
Well, I mean, it shows a lack of character and moral fiber just in general. Here it is, a person just, you know, essentially put themselves in the crosshairs just by doing nothing else than representing you because it was such a big story. You know, half the country is angry with you. And he gets you acquitted and you're on like, how much of an asshole do you have to be in one situation?
Well, to be clear, it wasn't his trial attorney who he ripped on. He did rip on Lynn Wood, who was the first lawyer who came to his defense. And he was a former child actor, but Lynn Wood came and raised all this money. There's talk about that he was exploited, like they tried to keep him in jail so that they could raise more money on GoFundMe for his bail.
How much money did they end up raising?
I don't remember.
There's a lot of people worshiping those murders.
I know.
His bail was set at $2 million. So they had to raise probably $200,000. I don't know how much was actually raised, but they are definitely now fighting over that money. And that is also what's leaving a bad taste in Kyle Rittenhouse's like his attorneys are fighting over this GoFundMe money that was raised for his bail to see who it belongs to now. It clearly doesn't belong to Kyle. So I think that rubs him the wrong way. And, it's weird because I think, yes, they were exploiting him, but your mom, she contributed to your exploitation, kid,
Did she also blame this whole thing on his autism?
That's good.
I like it.
Yep. The whole situation, the situation seemed pretty clear cut to me.
Mm-hmm.
Was it premeditated murder? No, I think it was I definitely blame the district attorney a little bit for going after murder one, because I don't think it was that, but aggravated manslaughter, absolutely. I think if he would have gone after manslaughter, we might have seen a different, because I mean, just like that article you sent me, in the very same time period, that the young woman that was held captive and raped and multiple times by that guy for almost a year, and then she escaped, found him, and killed him, and she's going to prison for murder one. And Kyle gets to go home. And not only that, but it's super disappointing to watch people in this country literally glorify this kid.
Yeah, that's what's really.
Or at the very least, what could be called vigilantism.
I think, there were the 2 vigilante trials. I know this is way off topic, guys, but we should talk about this now. There were the 2 vigilante trials, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and the Ahmaud Arbery trial. Did we cover that again, Terry?
I think we did. Did we cover
Ahmaud Arbery again?
No, it just happened last week.
So I don't know why I didn't include it in this week's show. But yeah, so you had those 2 trials, and the Ahmaud, I don't even want to call it the Ahmaud Arbery trial because it's the Travis McMichael trial, and that's who fucking killed Ahmaud Arbery.
That is kind of fucked up, right?
Yeah.
That is his name.
They named that everybody keeps calling the trial after the victim and not the perpetrator.
Yeah, that's not usually how. Like, look at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. It's after Kyle, but anyway.
Well, they did the same thing to Monica Lewinsky. No, they didn't call it the Clinton scandal. They called it the Lewinsky scandal. And as soon as you name it after somebody, you're painting a subconscious target on them. Yeah.
So in the Travis McMichael trial, they were all convicted on all the charges, and that was beautiful to watch. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, definitely.
I love the judge in that case, by the way.
Why you say that?
Because I just
all the black pastors.
I like seeing the difference between the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse case and the judge in this case. Just because you could see the bias on Rittenhouse's judge. Like he walked in there saying, I think this kid should go home, try and prove me wrong. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. You could feel the bias on that judge. But the other one, he's like, no, this is a court. We go by the law, and this is this, and that is that. So we're going to proceed with this, with some kind of honor and character that this court deserves. Like, he had a lot of respect for the law. You could tell. And especially with the Jesse Jackson thing. Because that defense attorney did not want them there.
I think that was kind of fucked up that he did that. But other than that, when you're just comparing him to this other clearly biased judge, yeah, he's a good judge. But I don't think he's a good judge.
Why?
You can't just be kicking pastors out if you're going to do that, you need to make it.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he did not.
He kicked the pastors out of the courtroom.
He did not. I will send you the video. The defense attorneys were requesting that they leave the what do they call it? He kept saying it.
Leave?
No, he actually yelled at the defense attorney. He's like, they have every legal right to be in this courtroom.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I retract my whole statement that I said about
Yeah,
that.
no,
Maybe he is a
he was he called it what was it? He called it oh damn it. I don't know, some abhorrent or shameful behavior, some synonym for that. But yeah, he said it right from the bench. He's like,
My bad.
yeah, because the defense attorney asked like 3 times to have them removed.
I think there were definitely a lot more with the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. I think that was definitely a lot more attractive to conservatives, because in the Travis Michael trial, a lot of conservatives did see the racism there and thought it was wrong, right? Thought it was fucked up. But a lot of them didn't see it in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, because first of all, Kyle Rittenhouse killed white people who were protesting the shooting of a black man. Now, that's where the race comes into this one, but I don't know. It was just so fucked up. It even made the judge feel like this kid was a hero, right? And it made the lawyers feel like this kid was a hero, and they're raising all this money. And
well, conservatives liked the Rittenhouse case not because of the color of the victims. They liked it because of who that kid was going after. There's nothing that scares there's nothing that scares hardcore conservatives more than Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Those protests were wild.
Yeah.
You know. So
they weren't that wild. You know what made them wild? Kyle Rittenhouse with his fucking gun and he killing people, because those were the only people that died at that protest.
Right.
Well, that's why I think of when I said aggravated manslaughter, because you literally went there and created the situation that led to violence. You know what I mean? And the part that really blows my mind is if I go to a bar tonight and get in a fight and knock somebody out, and as they're falling, their head hits the bar or a table or the floor, and they end up dying from that wound, that's manslaughter on me.
Yeah. Yeah,
but I can go brandish.
Kyle Rittenhouse. You know why? Because the law enforcement didn't treat him like he wasn't supposed to be there. They treated him like he was one of them. It's just, that does like encourage more vigilantism in America. I think that trial, but not to the extent to where you can just fucking shoot black men wherever you want to. Like,
well, I just don't understand.
Like, let me finish. Like, if they would have had a not guilty verdict in the Travis McMichael trial, if that was not guilty, then it would be like, yo, they can just shoot black people walking down the street, and it's gonna be hard to convict someone for. They don't know that that's the case. They don't know. Like, people aren't trying that shit anymore, but that would have been like proof in Georgia. You can just get away with it.
Well, self-defense as a defense for murder, it is 78% more successful in a white person than a black person. And I think that says everything you need to hear.
78.
Every time that self-defense has been used in a courtroom, if you're white, you're 78% more likely to get an acquittal than if you're black. So it's hard to argue with those kind of numbers.
I gotta say,
gotta learn how to fight. Gotta learn how to fight.
You know who makes me want to become a vigilante?
Batman?
The Island Bois. I hate them. So the Island Bois guys, they prove that we will just make anyone famous. Like, there are a few, I don't know if you've seen these guys. There's these 2 white guys from Florida, Cuban, sorry, but you can be Cuban and white. So they're white guys from Florida, West Palm Beach here. I can fucking see them out, probably have. And they wear their hair like Jay-Z's in that really elegant photo of him and Beyonce, but it looks so silly on them, and I hate them. Guys, why will we make anyone famous? Who's to blame? Whose fault is it?
It's our fault. It's my fault. It's your fault. It's your fault for even bringing it up on this podcast, but it's fun to talk about. You know what I mean? It's fun to talk about.
Silly. They're so silly.
I will say you just mentioned that they have hair like Jay-Z. Jay-Z actually got that hairstyle from South Florida. That is a hairstyle popular in Miami. I would say Kodak is the one that really popularized it.
That's
Kodak
probably
Black.
why I hate it. I'm not a Kodak Black.
But these are Kodak whites.
Hair.
And,
These are what?
these are Kodak whites, and we need to get rid of them. Because Kodak Black, at least, you know, I can at least attest Kodak has some good music, you know, here and there. I know a lot lot of people have their opinions about Kodak Black. But
I know I'm black, but I'm old and I don't connect with Kodak Black, you know.
Well, I'm young and I don't connect with the Island Bois. You know what I mean? So
Thank God.
that's saying a lot. I know they had a live performance down here in Miami and got booed on stage. Did you guys see that?
I saw that comedian JJ went. He was.
Oh yeah, I know.
I was like, really?
The Only and Dade boys were there. Yeah.
I hope you did not pay to see them.
Yeah, I would not pay to see that.
Well, first, let's stop using the word famous, because in their case, it is most definitely infamous. If people know you for something good, you're famous. If they know you for something bad, you're infamous. So I'd put them on the same level as, say, I don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse, you know?
Or no, you know who they
everybody just kind of looks at it because of what's going on. And a few people really like it, I guess.
They remind me of Catch Me Outside. Remember that girl?
Yeah.
She has a record deal. Like, they're going to get a record deal. Kodak Black has signed them. And now one of them goes by Kodiak Red. Red.
Well, you know, it's there's never going to be a shortage of people in this country willing to make money off people for whatever reason, with whatever process they can get. I mean, we're all in comedy, and we all know somebody who is not good, but they'll get booked all over the place because they bring a big crowd. You know, when they have a name for it,
you go viral, you can make money. And
if you're a bringer, you're gonna get what you want, because
if you're infamous, like the people are to show up just to make fun of your ass. And that sounds like you said they got booed, huh, Chris?
Oh, they definitely got booed. But it's a beautiful business model if you want your career to last about 2-3 years.
Yep.
They're gonna be around for 2-3 years. You know, a lot of people get upset. They're like, we make anybody famous, but that fame is few and far between. It's not gonna last that long. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I just say we sit back and enjoy the show.
Do y'all think that TikTok has anything to do with this kind of?
It has everything to do
viral
with it. TikTok it's very easy to go viral on TikTok. The way that algorithm works.
I want to do it because I want to be able to sell out fucking comedy shows.
I think it's. But the thing is, you just got to be careful how you market yourself, because in the case of the Island Bois, you know, people are laughing at them. And so if you want a prosperous, long career, it's going to be very hard to shake off that image if you come out as somebody that people are ridiculing. But it can get you all those views and likes quick and fast, which is happening with them. But
if they went the satire route and been like, oh, we just fucking around, you know, like, then they get a little bit more respect. But I will never respect these twins, you know?
Exactly.
Nor should you. Nor should you. Don't ever. I wouldn't even put the word respect and those guys in the same sentence. They don't even belong together.
Yeah, and there's just it makes me feel like I could die.
But
I've seen everything, like the fusion that these guys have going on. It makes me want to just be like, I feel so old, and I'm in my 40s, and they make me feel really old. Because I'm like, is this what people like? Well,
I don't.
So disturbing.
It's definitely, TikTok is a sign of the times. I tried it a few times. Like, I didn't post anything. I just went on there, and I've talked about it a lot. I just went on there and just started scrolling and looking at things, and next thing I knew, I looked down and like 4 hours had gone by. Like it's totally immersive, and I honestly think it's going to do brain damage to a lot of people.
No, it is. We do you not remember maybe a month ago on one of our shows, we talked about how it's affecting teenage girls. They're getting
Well, yeah,
tics.
but all social media does that.
They're getting tics from TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that exposure to that kind of rapid stimuli all the time, no, it's definitely not healthy. You ever sit on, and watch TikToks or reels on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, and just sit there for like an hour doing it, and then you get up and you almost feel like, whoa, like you're seasick or something.
Like I'm back in
that
the
ain't
real
good.
world.
It's not a good sign.
I've never gotten consumed by TikTok, but definitely by social media, like reading stories or the reels, like you say. It's toxic. It can be toxic. So nonetheless, I am ready to talk to our guest, Chris Renoir. He is a stand-up comedian. He's a content creator. He is a writer and 1/3 of the Backpack Boys. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you so much for having me on again. Thank you.
Yes, it's our pleasure. Thank you for being on.
All this gratitude is not necessary.
Hey man, I love expressing gratitude, man. I meditate every day, and I just thank God for everything that I got. And so whenever I get an opportunity to be on the podcast or on a show or anything like that, I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean?
I like that energy.
See there, Gio, and you said he was too big for us.
I like that energy. So Chris, how long have you been doing comedy?
Well, I know I wanted to be a comedian ever since I was 14 years old. But I remember doing 24. So for the last 10 years. Yeah. So
that's one thing I noticed. You're young and you're pretty advanced, it seems like. So
yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, I remember doing talent shows in high school, doing comedy, doing stand-up. But my first like official open mic I did when I was I believe I was 18 years old when I did like my first open mic in front of people that didn't know me. And I bombed my ass off, but I fell in love with it. I think when I bombed for the first time, that's when I really was like, oh, this is what I really want to do,
There's something special about bombing.
Terry, I was gonna say Terry gonna like that. Terry loves it.
Oh, Terry, what?
Terry love that shit. He's like, yeah, you gotta bomb on purpose.
No, just every once I always tell the same story. Whereas like it was right around my 2.5 year mark. Where I just said, you know what? Because I was always afraid of going up and bombing. So you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna bomb tonight on purpose. And I went up there and I told every joke that never worked. I told every story that didn't have the right ending, and I bombed on purpose. And ever since then, I had zero fear of it.
Yeah, it's very liberating because
it's kind of like taking the power out of it,
Yeah, it's like to get better, you got to be able to be willing to fail,
But it seemed like you took it as a motivation,
I did. At first it was like embarrassing because my friend was there, and so that car ride,
like your girlfriend or your?
Oh no! If my girlfriend was there, I would have quit comedy. But I said, man, that comedy shit is crazy, ain't it? Man, nah, never again. But it was a homeboy of mine, and the car ride home was kind of awkward. But as soon as I got to the house, I was like, it made me feel like I was a real comedian because up to that point, I seen a lot of YouTube videos of like the people that I look up to, and they would always talk about them bombing. Like they always had stories about bombing. Like, oh, I remember I did this show when I was this age, and I bombed my ass off, blah blah blah. And I was like, wow, now I feel like I'm gonna like a real comedian. Because up to that point, I had just done talent shows, and I placed on those talent shows, and it's cool, but when you bomb, you feel like you're a part of that thread of other comics who are really doing this shit for real.
Yeah. No, yeah, you got to go through everything. You'll have those highs and those lows, and you got to embrace them and like take them as learning experience.
Well, it's part of paying your dues,
Yeah.
Even if you came out, let's say, Chris, you came out and killed it your first set, and then has killed it on every set since. No comic is going to respect you at all. You'll probably do great in comedy, but you'll never have another comedian's respect.
Because if you are doing great like that all the time, and you're not taking risks, you're not doing anything different. You're probably very safe. You're not saying anything that we haven't heard before, you know? So
if you're not offending people, at least sometimes you're exactly right. You're not even speaking your heart on that one.
mhm.
Okay, so tell me this. What was your motivation? You said you got in at 14. What motivated you to get in?
Knowing I was terrible at basketball. I wanted to be
The best
I
answer
wanted to,
so far. Go ahead.
I wanted to be a basketball player so bad. I love D Wade. I love the Miami Heat growing up. And, you know, I told my parents that's what I wanted to do. They bought me a hoop. They bought me the shoes. They bought me jerseys and all this.
Supportive. I
And
love it.
once I joined the team, it was a totally different reality. It was terrible. I didn't know what was going on. But I knew up until
It's
that
not a
point that I was
nurturing
funny.
environment, I imagine. Like they're not gonna be
Yeah.
like, "We'll teach you."
No, my parents are Haitian. They had to teach me soccer. and
No,
how to
not
do
your
dishes.
parents, but your
Oh.
team.
Oh no, they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
No.
They don't give a damn.
They're not gonna be like,
If you're as bad as you say, then why? How did you even make the team?
I was funny.
Oh,
I was funny and I could rebound. You know what I mean? I got hops for days. I
yeah.
could rebound the
So-
hell out of a ball.
so you were like the Island Boys of the team.
I was the Island Boys of the team. It was just like, this is gonna be good for 2 to 3 weeks, and then afterwards we're gonna put them on the bench.
That's awesome.
You know?
Better work on
But,
them layups before
this
these
is
jokes
what-
get old.
8th or 9th grade, you're like, I got no career in basketball. I'm just gonna be a comedian. I can't be
Yeah.
paid. I'm gonna be
Dave Chappelle. That's what because my friends were like, I had friends that loved watching Chappelle show. And this was probably a few years after he left the show, probably 3-4 years. And they were just like, oh, Chappelle show is funny. So I checked it out and I fell in love with Chappelle. You know, then I started watching Def Comedy Jam on YouTube, you know,
Oh, yeah.
fall in love with comics like Chris Rock and
yeah,
you know. And so ever since then, that's been my love.
nice. So what in doing all this has been your proudest moment?
Oh man, as much as I love doing stand up, I love performing live. I really enjoy producing content online. That's good because like you said, there's 2 different types of content, and you have the Island Boys type of content that gets you a lot of views and likes for a specific amount of time. But you know, I like to make stuff that resonates with people and that's funny and different. And so I would say my proudest moment was during the quarantine when I made a comedy mixtape and shot music videos to it with my little brother. And we put it online and it went viral. Like every week we were just going viral over and over again. We got on the news. Snoop Dogg reposted one of our videos. World Star reposted one of the videos.
Jeez.
It was a really incredible span of a few weeks. But
You had been stand up already by this time, or
yeah. I stayed away from online content because I didn't want to be known as an Instagram comedian. I know you guys are familiar with like people who do Instagram comedy and then they try to do stand up and it's totally terrible. So I stayed away from online content for a while, but once I got into it, I just fell in love with it.
I think I think it's really smart if you can mesh them.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of takes now. We had a big comics meeting. I don't remember if you were there at the Improv, and they were talking about that, about how it's just helpful if you have a large network of followers on social media. You'll find yourself being able to pack out houses. Like, we got South Florida, we got Fat and Funny. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers. He can sell out each Improv. So I think that it is important to, and I've always said this, you got to diversify your content. Yes, you can be a stand-up, but you need a podcast. You need to do these, because, you know, I do the Tribe of Asshole videos, but I mean, I love that stuff. It's funny, you know, maybe something to go viral, you'll get some followers, whatever. But I think that that's good that you waited and you made sure you didn't want to like go down that route, because that's not, you know. So let me ask you this, Chris, what is your favorite venue in South, or just favorite venue, period? What's your favorite venue to perform stand-up at?
In general, I just
Oh,
love
wait,
performing.
sorry. Terry has something to say. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
And you can't say the improvs.
Oh man.
That's why. And that is why. Because if we did that, every comic we have on here would be like, oh, the improv. Well, of course.
Yeah,
Too easy.
Well, you know, I really enjoyed performing at Madison Square Garden at one time, and you know, it was I'm just speaking it into existence at this point.
I like
but,
it. I was on that show with you. Go ahead.
yeah, you know, Blamegirl, you know, she opened it up. It was flames. People was throwing flowers and all that. But in terms of, I would say down here in Miami, if we can't say improv, I would say I really enjoy a great packed Monday night at Red Bar. That is always
I like
always
Red
fun.
Bar, yeah.
Yep.
Red
Red Bar's
Bar's
a great venue.
And I
Red
started
Bar.
in Orlando. So in Orlando, I got to give a shout out to a spot called Other Bar and another spot called Bull Bush. They're both, well, Bull Bush was like a showcase. Other Bar was more like a mic. It was just an open mic, but it was where all the Orlando comics went out to perform. And so it was like a whole family environment.
Orlando, man, you're making me jealous. I want to get up there.
The thing is,
I've been to Other Bar. I like that room too.
Yeah, Other Bar. I mean, it's not there anymore. Ever since the pandemic, it just
no. This was back when Ken Miller was running it.
Yeah, Ken Miller.
Yeah.
Ken Miller is my OG. I love Ken Miller. So he would just have his little crown apple in his hand, and people would just hover around him, and he would just go to town, just roasting people, telling jokes, giving life stories. And somebody would be hosting the show, and when the show ended, he would go on stage, take the mic, do some crowd work on, you know, it didn't matter if it was 10 people in the crowd or a packed house. He would do crowd work and kill every time. So shout out to Ken Miller and everybody in Orlando. I miss them so much. I loved being over there.
So you've been doing comedy for 10 years. I know you, is that what you're saying? You got motivated at 14 and you started, or when did you start?
I would say, you know, the love for comedy started when I was 14. I was doing talent shows at that point. But if people ask, I would say I started when I was 19.
Dope. That's so, that's like, you just got started so early. Like, I do envy that. I didn't start till I was 38. So yeah, and I've been doing it 3 years. So I'm just like,
you're killing the game too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
So I'll just ask you this last question about comedy. What has been your biggest challenge doing comedy?
My biggest challenge, obviously, when it comes to performing live, I feel like my biggest challenge is, at this point in my career, I still don't feel like I found, I feel like I found my voice, but I'm still trying to get to a point where I feel completely comfortable on stage. Because I feel like when you're on stage and you can be 100% yourself, that's when you really have mastered like comedy. I still feel like I'm performing it rather than just being it, you know, if that makes sense.
He said still performing. Like it's just not as natural as you'd like it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And the thing is, being here in Miami has helped a lot, because in Orlando, I feel like that really set the foundation to write good material. And the thing about Miami is, you know, we have great crowds down here, but a lot of times they don't want to hear material. They want crowd work, and they want people who can say, hey, how you doing? How long you been together? And stuff like that. So it's really give or take. But I can say here in Miami, it's really forced me to perform more. You know, I know I can write a joke, but can you really perform the joke and be lively and engaging with people? So I'm thankful for my time in Miami for that. But once I can merge the two, and I'm on stage telling great jokes and also being a great performer, I feel like that's when I feel like I've found that happy medium. And so that's my biggest challenge right now, trying to bring the material and the performance to a
You sound like you have a really good comedy head on your shoulders, and it was a pleasure talking to you about your comedy career. So real quick, tell us about you, Chris. Like, who are you? Where you're from? How
Mhm.
long are you from Florida? If not, how long you been in Florida? What's your day job? Do you have any podcasts or anything, extra that you do?
Well, I'm from South Florida, Broward County. I've been here all my life. I My day job right now is Top Golf in Miami Gardens. I'm a server at Top Golf.
Oh, that's
Uh,
real.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
real material.
This is my first serving job, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrible at it. But yeah, I get money.
You get good tips?
Oh, I get good tips. It's 40-year-old white men who golf,
And
so
you
they're
make them
gonna tip you.
laugh.
From time to time, it's a lot of. I'm not gonna lie, like making people laugh takes a lot of energy, and I already do that at night.
You like, I
So
want to get paid to make that's a whole nother payment they need to make.
pick my spots. You know what I mean? I pick my spots when I'm at work. But for the most part, that's what I'm doing right now, just to save some money in hopes that, I can move to a bigger, comedy city. But I'm a chill dude. I just like to stay at the house, watch basketball highlights and eat. If I could watch basketball highlights and eat for the rest of my life, I'll be a satisfied man. I'll be happier than Kyle Rittenhouse right now.
Oh, shut up, boy. Like, I don't know if you'd be happier than Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay. So you didn't bring this up, but you do a lot of online content, and it's very funny. You guys should check him out, and I'm gonna make him give you his Instagram before he gets off. But we are ready to play the blame game. Are you ready, Chris?
Yes, ma'am. Let's do it.
You have mastered that 1 minute content. Who's to blame? It seems like you've gone viral. You got a lot of followers. Tell us more about that.
I just got to give a shout out to my partners in the Backpack Boys, Jeff Wright, Sean Philippe, and Jeff LaFrance, aka J Stat. We all make content. We're not usually in each other's content, but like we motivate each other to do content. And I really like take a lot of time to find out like how can we present an idea in 60 seconds or less, and they help out with filming and editing and stuff like that. So I'm very thankful to them. So that's to blame. The Backpack
yeah. You got a team. I like it.
Yes,
I like
man.
it. It's like because like I said, I do the tribe of assholes, but I don't have to really motivate anyone or do anything. They're like, hey, are you available to do the shoot? I'm like, yes. So before we get off, speaking of tribe of assholes, before we get off, let me ask you this. Do you have anything coming up you'd like to promote? Any shows? Are you on any other podcasts?
No podcast just yet, but I got a few shows that I'm doing at the Miami Improv December 16th through the 19th with the Only and Day guys. So you can check that out. I should have the link in my bio on my Instagram. So follow me at Chris Renois. That's Renois. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok as well. So follow your boy for more updates and content and videos and nice pictures of me and cats and stuff like this.
Yes, I'm telling y'all check out this man's content. It's very funny. All right, guys. Usually we are ready to do Terry Wayne's words for white people.
I'm sorry I had to miss that.
You gotta tune
There's
in.
only like 60 more episodes. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Is that all, Terry? 60? That's only another year and a week or no, I'm just kidding. All right, so guys, I think Mendemo's on. She's in the room. Her video's off. I am not sure if her audio is connected, but she wants to talk to us. We've had her on before. I do the Tribe of Asshole videos with them. And she wants to talk to y'all about something that's going on big in South Florida. All right. Minda, come on and tell us what's going on in South Florida.
Oh no.
Come on, Linda, don't be shy.
She's on. Her video's not working. It won't let me on. It's not responding. Okay. Wait.
Oh, wait.
Oh my God.
There she is.
There she
Hey, Minda Mo.
Oh my God. All live stream, non-responsive. Cute stuff. I don't know. I think it's because you got so many people in there. Oh, got Terry, Chris. What's up, everybody?
How you doing?
Hey, hey. Well, thanks for having me. I don't know what y'all were saying beforehand because of the non-responsive little thing that just kept twirling.
Oh, okay. I just told everybody that, we do the Tribe of Asshole videos together, and you have a big announcement about something going on big this weekend in South Florida. Tell us what's going on.
Perfect. All right. So, yeah, I want to invite everybody out to Laughing Spree Fest. It's Florida's biggest comedy fest. We're doing it in Boca, December 3rd and 4th. So that's Friday night. And then Saturday from 3 to 11. There's 3 comedy shows over 2 days and a bunch of villagers and vendors and inflatable attractions. Well, we got Andrew Schultz in town. We got Jim Norton in town. We got Brian Callen, Yamanika. There's stacked lineup. There's 20 plus comics. Go check out the whole roster. You can go to laughingspree.com and get all the information. So we're doing it cool. We're doing it outdoors. We're keeping it COVID safe, 50% capacity, and keeping everybody socially distanced. Don't need a vax card. Don't need a PCR test. Don't need anything like that. But it's not like a festival where everyone's smashed up together. That's not what we're
doing. It is Florida, so we're kind of free to move about here, right? But it's really cool to see this come into fruition. I was talking to Minda yesterday because if you've been watching the show for a while, we went to see Dave Chappelle on his socially distant show he had in Ohio. And she was a little bit inspired by that and was like, I want to bring this to South Florida. And this bitch brought it to South Florida. Y'all need to get out here and support this venue. It's big names, big festival. What else is going on? You said you got a village.
Yeah, we got people out there doing live art. We got mom and pop, like shop local vendors, nothing mass distributed or flipped or anything like that. And then we have a extreme fun village that's going to have some alt performers as well as some inflatable attractions. Like cool stuff. It's all for adults though. It's 18 or over, so you can leave your kids at home. You can kind of break free from all of that crazy before it becomes about the family and the holidays. It's one last hurrah, right? Before you kind of get sucked in.
Before it's all this craziness. I get it.
Yeah. Food trucks, alcohol. So lots of things to do to fill your time in between shows.
Multiple food trucks and alcohol, because let me just say this, Dave Chappelle had 1 food truck, 1 alcohol truck. What about Laughing Spree?
No, we're gonna have 2 to 3 food trucks, and then we also have tropical smoothie there. They're gonna be making smoothies and flatbreads and healthy stuff, and then we'll have some snacks. Yeah, we're gonna let everyone dabble. You gotta find your yumminess, right?
That's right. I'm so glad there's going to be multiple, because I know I'm going to be out there Saturday from 3 to 11 working our Black Lives Matter signs tent.
Yep. We're going to be having it out there where like everyone just a QR code, and you can download all kinds of different either poster size or screensavers or phone screensaver, whatever it is, cover things of some different images, and it's all going to be for free. But there's going to be over 20 vendors and artists out there who are representing the community, so it's going to be great. And lots of comics on the show are from Florida too, representing. So we got Sean
from Florida.
Well, we got Orlando Leyba and Sean Grant, who are both out of the Miami area, and then we got a few of us locals dabbled in. We got Vince Taylor coming from up north. We got Esther Koo, who hangs out down in Miami when she's not in LA. So we got a lot of Florida representing, and then we got the big guys coming in to finish up the shows. We got, hey, Yamanika Saunders is on our Friday night show. She's hilarious. I would highly recommend. And Clubhouse icon of September, Leah Lamar, is Saturday.
I'm excited to see a lot of these performers. Jim Norton, that's one of my faves. So, okay. And then there's parking near.
Yeah, no, you definitely, you got to pay for parking, or you can get it on site. We're trying to do everything cashless. So, hopefully you can do an electronic transaction, but we're going to do a lot of QR code stuff. But I'm telling everyone, just get your tickets beforehand. Like, don't mess around in that line when you get there. Like, it's a lot easier if you can just go through and just scan your stuff and, get that. Because look, the bottom line is, it's 50% reduced capacity. We can't fill that place up. There's only so many tickets and then it's over with.
Well, and I don't think anybody wants to be in full capacity places after that whole Asheville thing anyway. So that makes me feel better, if not,
No,
So-
this is like a chance to festival and luxury, like kind of kick back and have your own bubble.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. And like I said, I'll be out there. Minda will be out there. Guys, Minda, you already promoted your big thing, I know. Chris, you said you have a show coming up, Miami Improv, on the 18th.
The 16th through the 19th.
The 16th through the 19th. Terry, you got anything coming up this week you want to put out there?
When's the Just the Funny thing? I forget right off the top of my head.
That's the 18th. That's the
Okay.
18th. We'll talk about that.
And then that's my next one, the 18th. At Just the Funny.
Okay, then I am at Focal Brewing in Miami on Wednesday, so you can catch me out there. I'll let Chris put out that handle one more time for everybody.
Chris Renoir, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Renois. That's Chris Renoir. Check your boy out.
Minda, give us that laughing spree
It's
information.
my Laughing Spree TV, because that's what's putting on the festival. And that's, Laughing Spree TV now has Tribe of Assholes and all those videos, as well as Travel Jerks and a couple other content creators out there. But yeah, definitely check us out or at laughingspree.com. And I'll be repping tonight at Leon Arp's tribute show. So
Yeah, we're gonna go out there.
Hair prep right now. That's why the hair's back. It's in the
You're looking
bun.
good. You're looking good.
Gotta
Yeah,
get
we're
ready
gonna
for
be out
Halloween.
there. I'm excited Dada's open again. That's all I'm excited Dada. I didn't know Leon. I'm gonna, pay my respects, but I am gonna eat some food at Dada, and I'll see you soon. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Minda. Thank you, Terry, for giving up your slot this week, complaining about white people. And until next week, guys, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Peace.